Welcome to All the Way Alive. This is a space for the real, the raw, the unfiltered experience of being human. I'm Carolyn, and I'm most definitely not here as a teacher or an expert. I am a fellow traveler fumbling my way through the mess and the magic of life with you. This isn't the bullshit of self-help. It's not about becoming better or fixing anything. This is about truth. It's about risk. It's about letting yourself be seen all the way through. It's about the initiations we go through in love, the ache of purpose, the wild vision, the grief, the ecstasy, the fear, all of it. Here we explore what it means to be all the way alive, to feel, to fall, to fuck it up, to try again, to listen to your body, to mine your own wisdom. There's no finish line, just this moment, just this breath, just this one wild, precious life. Let's go there. Okay, it has been a hot minute since I've recorded one of these episodes, and it's for good reason. Women are cyclical beings, and I was doing some stuff, and I just had a really beautiful conversation with a friend about this very recently, because judgment comes up when we take some space back from something, or create some breathing room, or move at a different pace than what we think we should be moving at. And yeah, I just call bullshit on it. It's okay to refocus energy. It's okay to come back. And I love being able to record these for you, with you in mind, and just share these pieces that are alive in this way. So, okay. I have been thinking about this phrase that I called this episode, stop cockblocking your vision, for days now. Maybe weeks. It came through me, and yes, I know technically as a woman, and also sharing this primarily with women in this way, perhaps I should have found something that's more appropriate, right, for women. So I was Googling it. I looked it up, what this is for women. What is the female version of cockblocking? And apparently the internet has opinions. This is one of the things that I love about the internet, and the fact that we can share ideas in such a vast way. So here are some of the answers that came up. Clam jamming, twat swatting, clitorference was another great one. Beaver damming, those were all my favorites. And I know there's so many more. If you know more, please feel free to pop it in the comments. I think they're so entertaining. And yeah, so I'm not going to be naming any of these workshops that I'm creating, like beaver damming, right? We're just not doing that. But it actually sent me down this whole thought process, because I realized cock blocking is exactly the right word. Not because it's actually about a cock, okay? It's about interfering with access to something that somebody wants, some sort of flow, right? And if we take it out of this whole masculine, feminine dynamic and just put it straight into the energetics, right? It's getting between something or someone and that thing that they're moving towards. And that we do to ourselves all the fucking time. Okay? So, except instead of blocking ourselves from all that stuff, we block ourselves from the life that we want, the business that we want, the vision that is ours, the money that we desire, the relationship we want, the work we desire, the experience we desire, the thing we know we want to say, the thing we know we want to create, the decision we already know we want to make. We get this flash of desire, this little pulse of aliveness in us, this knowing, and then almost immediately we cock block it. Okay? Now, there's something really important here because desire actually comes first. It's inherent. And I want to talk about vision differently than I think we normally do. Because when I say vision, I don't necessarily mean some perfectly articulated 5-year plan. I don't mean anything about goals. I don't even mean something about sight, right? Like vision, what I can see. I don't mean sitting down with a journal on January 1st and deciding exactly where you're going to live, what your revenue is going to be, what car you're going to drive, right? Like your vision board kind of stuff, or like the traditional one, or like what your morning routine is going to look like. So vision can contain those things, but vision is so much more alive than that. That's why I wrote the book All the Way Alive. I'll actually pop it down, like a link to it in the show notes below. That's not really the intent of this podcast, but I just wanted to share, like, that is the intent, okay? Because vision is emergent. Vision moves. Vision reveals itself. Sometimes vision arrives as a giant fucking revelation. And sometimes it arrives a little bit more gently. I want to go there. I want to make that. I don't want to do this anymore. I want more space. I want to write. I desire travel. I want to make more money. I want to spend more time outside. I want to leave. I want to begin. I want that. And those are not insignificant impulses. Those are signals. And I think one of the ways that women in particular have been trained to disconnect from vision is that we've been trained to interrogate desire before we're allowed to have it. We don't simply ask, what do I want? We ask, is it reasonable? Is it practical? Can I justify it? Will somebody be disappointed? Will somebody think I'm selfish? Can I afford it? What if I fail? What if I change my mind? What will people think? How am I going to do it? And perhaps the biggest vision cockblock of all, how, right? That word. We receive the vision, and 5 seconds later, we demand a fucking project plan from it. Now, there's nothing wrong with asking the question how, if you mean what's the next right step. But when you use that word how and you mean show me the whole fucking plan, that's too much. Like, okay, universe, interesting proposal. Please submit your implementation timeline, your projected like ROI, what we're going to get back from it, and then like a risk analysis. Like, that's a lot. No, sometimes you are allowed to want something before you know how to create it. And I would argue not sometimes, all of the time. I actually believe that it's essential. Because if your desires are only allowed to be as large as the strategies you can currently imagine, you're not visioning. That's not coming through you. That's coming from your limited mind state, from what you remember, what you think and know, right? We're looking at going deeper, something more primal, something more divine. So vision is capable of taking you somewhere your current reality could never have imagined. So when I had this name, Stop Cockblocking Your Vision, come through me as this workshop that I'm going to be offering, and like this whole kind of body of work, I started to look at all of the ways that we do this. Because we cockblock our vision by not getting clear about what we actually want. We cockblock it by knowing what we want and then immediately taking ourselves out of it. We cockblock it by asking everyone else what they think. before we've even allowed the desire to take root inside of us. This is why like a bit of containment is a good thing when it comes to desire. Like let it work through you. Let it show you signs and signals. Have like this playful experience with the universe. So if a desire comes through, it's like, oh wow, that feels really true. Like let's look for more signs and symbols. Right? It just gives us this ability to keep playing. Not like prove it to me, prove to me that that's my desire, but like let's play with it. Okay? Other ways that we cock block our vision is by making somebody else's comfort more important than our truth. And man, have I done this. Like, you know that fight, flight, or freeze response, our natural response to stress and to perceived danger and all that. Like mine is fawning. Mine is like, oh, here, let me fix that for you. Let me be the martyr. Let me like take everything on and like make your life easier. And so that's a habit energy that I am still working with and still working through. But let me tell you, when I do that, when I basically like avoid the conflict, if I make somebody else's comfort more important than my truth, then I'm holding on to that conflict. I'm actually encouraging more conflict and I'm like holding it for longer. So by avoiding conflict, I'm creating more conflict. Another way that we cock block our vision is by trying to be good, easy, reasonable, palatable, responsible, not too much. What are the other ones that you've heard, right? Like not too loud, not too ambitious, not too sexual, not too spiritual, not too wealthy, not too powerful, not too fucking alive. We cock block it by waiting for permission. From who? Even from ourselves sometimes, right? We cock block it by confusing fear with misalignment. We cock block our vision by deciding that because something scares us, it must not be right. We cock block it through perfectionism, through overthinking, through consuming instead of creating. Like how many times have you sat there like feeling something and then numbed out by scrolling on your phone? Other ways we do it are through endless preparing, through building things we think we should want instead of things we actually want. And this is a big one for entrepreneurs. We cock block our vision by letting today's numbers, right? That's like finances, determining what's important or possible for tomorrow. So if something doesn't sell immediately, we panic. Nobody responds to the post that we made. Maybe the whole idea is wrong. 3 people unsubscribe from us. Clearly everyone hates me. And just so you know, as somebody who sends out emails, like every time I send an email, I get unsubscribes. It's just par for the course. You are not for everyone. And if you are trying to be palatable, if you are trying to be for everyone, if you are not pursuing rejection, you are not in alignment with your vision. If you are not pursuing rejection, you are not in alignment with your vision. So like that is a big one. So believe me, I've done this. I know this one so intimately. I've created something I believed in more times than I can count, put it out into the world. And then when people didn't immediately jump on it, suddenly I was scrambling, right? Maybe I need more bonuses to add to my offer. Maybe I need more content. Maybe I need to teach more. Maybe I need to post more. Maybe I need to make it more valuable. Maybe I need to make myself more valuable. And then suddenly, something that started from so much aliveness becomes something I'm dragging behind me. And that is such an important distinction because sometimes feedback does not mean that we need to refine. Vision isn't about blindly refusing to listen to reality. Reality is in relationship with us, or what we assume is reality. We create something, we put it into the world, we listen, we respond. But feedback is information, right? It's not this like big determinant of your worth. And it isn't automatically a determinant of your vision either. This is the difference between creating in relationship with the world and handing the world veto power over your desire. So this is exactly why I'm doing something next week that I am ridiculously excited about. I am hosting a completely free workshop called Stop Cockblocking Your Vision, right? Yes, that's really the name. That's where this whole thing came from. It's happening Wednesday, August 12th, 2026 at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And this is not going to be another business workshop where I give you like 253 strategies to add to your already impossible to-do list. We're going into the vision itself. So what wants to emerge? What do you actually desire? Where are you negotiating against yourself? Where are you catering to other people's comfort? Where are you trying to figure out the entire how before you've even allowed yourself to say yes to the what? And I'm going to take you through the beginning of something I've been developing. So I've actually been using it, but like bringing more and more pieces in. And I'm calling it the vision activation method, because I don't want you leaving with a nice idea written in a notebook that you'll never open again. I want you to feel your vision in your body. I want to move it out of intellectualization and into embodiment, into decision, into motion, into relationship. So if any part of this episode has you going, oh fuck, she's talking to me, come, it's free, register. You obviously need to claim your spot, and you can find the registration link wherever you're listening to this episode in the show notes or through my social channels. Okay, back to cock blocking. So your body knows before your brain can explain any of this stuff. And one of the things I'm becoming more and more interested in is what happens before the mind gets involved. That first response, that expansion, that contraction, the thing that feels alive. Because your body often knows something so much sooner than your rational mind, right? It's like, it's just a deep knowing. And then we run it through the filter of the mind, right? And we've been taught to reverse that. We've been taught think, analyze, research, compare, justify. And honestly, I think that's largely because we've been taught to think like men, right? And there's like a very linear way that we do that. And then all of that stuff, then maybe feel. And here's the thing, I'm interested in a different order, and vision is too. So listen, feel, notice, receive, and then bring in the brilliant strategic mind. And believe me, I am not anti-strategy. God, no. Like, I love strategy. I love systems. I love architecture. I love taking something enormous and visionary and asking, okay, what structure could actually hold this? What steps can I take to like bring this into fulfillment? But strategy isn't supposed to decide what you're allowed to desire. Strategy's job comes later. Vision is the source. Your body is the compass. The world around you is a living field that you are in relationship with. And then structure, it's the container, the riverbanks. Structure doesn't create the river, it gives the water somewhere to move. And this is one of the biggest shifts happening in my own work right now, because I am so much less interested in helping women build businesses that merely work, because you can build a business that works beautifully on paper and fucking hate living inside of it. You can create something profitable that requires you to betray yourself every single day, right? You can hit the goal. You can get the clients. You can make the money. And you can discover that you have created a beautiful cage. And I don't want that. I don't want that for me. And I don't want that for the women that I work with. I want business to become a structure capable of resourcing the vision, not consuming the woman carrying it. And here's where this gets even bigger for me. What if your vision isn't just about you? What if it's not just a personal preference? What if desire isn't something to feel guilty for? What if the things that make you come alive are actually connected to the contribution that you're here to make? Maybe what is asking for? Like, I believe in the anima mundi. I believe in the soul of the world. And I believe that we all have access to this. And we are all asked something. Not just one thing, like a continuous evolution, a continuous calling. Because I work with women who are healers, coaches, creatives, mystics, teachers, entrepreneurs, women with ideas, women who see things differently, women who look at the way things are being done and they think there has to be another way. I work with women imagining businesses and communities and systems and art and healing and ways of living that do not fully exist yet. The revolutionaries, the visionaries. And if that's you, I don't think that your job is to martyr yourself for your vision. Your job is to steward it. And those are so different. Martyrdom says, I'll exhaust myself for this, I'll undercharge for this, I'll abandon myself for this. I'll make myself smaller so that nobody gets uncomfortable. I'll give and give and give because receiving somehow makes the work less pure. But stewardship is so different. Stewardship says, this matters enough to resource properly. This matters enough for me to be well. This matters enough for me to make money. This matters enough for me to have support. This matters enough for me to have boundaries. This matters enough for me to tell the truth. This matters enough that I am no longer willing to negotiate it away because somebody else might be uncomfortable. And maybe that's the question, right? Like, who benefits from your vision being under-resourced? Because it probably isn't you. And it probably isn't the people that your work is here to touch, to reach, to help. And this one has been incredibly alive for me personally, particularly lately. How often have I known what was true but softened it, or delayed it, or made it easier to swallow, or tried to keep everything peaceful? Maybe I asked one more question when I already knew the answer. And I think a lot of women understand this. We've been rewarded for being easy to deal with, for being accommodating, for understanding everybody else's perspective, for being compassionate. And compassion is beautiful. But self-abandonment, wearing a compassion costume, is still self-abandonment. There comes a point where being endlessly understanding becomes a way of refusing to let truth have consequences. And vision requires something totally different from us. Vision asks, what is true? What do you know? What wants to happen? What are you being asked to choose? And can you tolerate the fact that your choice might inconvenience someone? Can you tolerate being misunderstood? Someone not liking your boundary? Making more money than somebody thinks you should? Becoming more visible? Can you tolerate wanting more? Because sometimes the next evolution isn't another tactic, it's capacity. Capacity to hold the desire without immediately shrinking it. Capacity to hold the vision before there's evidence. Capacity to let something be unknown, to receive, to disappoint someone, to let yourself become the woman your vision actually requires. I believe vision is so alive. I believe desire carries information. I believe our work can be an expression of something much larger than achievement. And I believe business can be a vehicle for that. A structure that resources our lives, our families, our bodies, our freedom, our creativity, our communities, our contribution in the world, our one wild, precious life. But only if we stop building businesses that require us to abandon ourselves in order to sustain them. Only if we stop asking permission to want what we fucking want. Only if we stop shrinking the vision to fit the structures we've inherited. Maybe the structure needs to change. Maybe the business needs to change. Maybe your relationship to money needs to change. Maybe the boundary needs to change. Maybe you are being asked to change. But the vision? Maybe the vision isn't the problem. Maybe you've just been cock-blocking the hell out of it. And if you're ready to stop, come join me. Stop cock-blocking your vision. The workshop is happening Wednesday, August 12th, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's free. We're going to vision, we're going to desire, we're going to embodiment. We're going to talk about the ways we unconsciously shut the whole fucking thing down. And we're going to begin activating what wants to come next. I would absolutely love to have you there. And until next time, for vision.